Hello, I've seen the most mistaken part is the marginal analysis of chapter one. So I decided to make a short video to better demonstrate that. So here, the basic idea of marginal analysis is to analyze the cost versus the benefit, or the cost against the benefit. So let's look at this small little example. A firm's current cost is $60 million and revenue is $100 million for having produced 10 units of equipment. By producing the additional one, the total cost increases up to $80 million, while the total revenue increases up to $105 million. Should this firm produce this additional unit? Assume the rationality. So if a firm is assumed the nationality, that means this firm is always comparing its benefit. In this case, that's his revenue against the cost. So if the benefit exceeds the cost, it is worth doing. If the benefit cannot exceed the cost, then it's too costly, right? But here, another thing that you need to pay attention to is in which scope are we looking at those benefit and cost. That brings our focus to marginal analysis. For instance, look at the numbers here. So after producing this additional unit of equipment, the total cost increases up to 80, while the total revenue increases up to 105. So if you only compare those cost and benefit at total level, then 105, which is revenue, exceeds the cost, which is 80. So you would say, oh, do it, right? After producing this additional one, still there is a positive gap in the margin, meaning revenue will be higher than cost, right? But the answer to this cost and benefit analysis is no, this firm should not produce this additional unit. And here is why. So by producing this additional unit, you increased your cost from 60 to 80. So that means the cost is increased by $20 million, right? While by producing this additional one, the revenue only increased from 100 to 105. The magnitude of increase is only $5 million. So here, by producing this additional one, the marginal cost, which is the cost of producing this additional equipment itself, is $20 million. And the benefit, which is the revenue, marginal revenue, the revenue of producing this additional unit is only $5 million. So here, by producing, let's focus on producing this single additional unit. The cost is 20, the benefit or revenue is 5, cost exceeds the revenue, then we shouldn't do it. And you can take another perspective of looking at this. So if you look at the total profit, which is the difference between the revenue and cost, at the beginning, it is 100 minus 60, which is 40. And here, by producing this additional one, your profit doesn't increase. Conversely, your profit decreases to 105 minus 80, which is 25. So by doing this additional one, your profit actually decreases. As a firm, you want to maximize your profit, not to minimize it. So then why do you bother to produce this additional one? So marginal analysis gives you a good idea of what this firm should do in terms of each additional output to produce. And furthermore, since previously you've learned about like sunk cost and stuff like that, so here you can consider those 100, those 60 to be sunk, right? It's in the past. You've produced this 10 units of equipment, and you got 100. That's what you got. It costed you $60 million. That's what it cost. You can't change the past. And now what you're looking at is this additional one. That's the future that you can be deciding on, right? And again, then we only focus on the future and we get rid of the past. What do you mean of get rid of past? Let's just take the past cost that you can't change, that has already incurred, right? That you can't change away from the total cost. So let's look at increment, which is 20. And the same logic, this $100, that's the cost that's the benefit that you can't change. That's already the 10 units, right? That has already been produced. You can't change that, right? But you can still decide whether you proceed with this additional output or not, which means you stay at 100. So you compare this increment, which is 5, and again, compare benefit against the cost. And here, marginal benefit is lower than marginal cost, so we should not expand our current production by additional one. I hope this makes sense to you. Thank you very much.